Welcome here to more TALKFCB and welcome to the Champions League. It is time for Paris Saint-Germain against Barcelona in the round of 16. Second leg. We have a large margin to overcome, but in today's video, both Frenkie de Jong and Ronald Koeman face the media. They say they believe in a comeback. They say that confidence is high. We're going to be discussing all of those quotes ahead of tomorrow's crucial clash. It's coming up for you. Let's get to this. Come on. Because if we start there with Frenkie de Jong, he was asked there by the journalist, what is the objective ahead of this game? Coming into it, what is the feeling within the squad? And Frenkie said, the main objective, it's always to get to the next round. That is still our ambition. That is still our goal. He said, I think you should always believe. He said, it starts there with the belief that we have. Now we have to show it on the field tomorrow. He said, we are united as a team. We've been getting good results. We're feeling good. And tomorrow, we will see how it goes. Frenkie was then asked about the new president, of course, Joan Laporta, back now at Barcelona. He did speak with the players yesterday, encouraging them and telling them that he believed that the comeback was possible. De Jong said, we're very happy. He said, we're happy that a new president is here. He said, me personally, I don't know him very well yet. He said, but I'm sure that I will. He said he did wish us well yesterday. He encouraged us ahead of this game. He said, we're very happy to have now a new president in place. De Jong was then asked a few quick-fire questions about the fact that this season he has played the most minutes of any Barcelona player. He was asked there, are you feeling maybe a little bit tired? But De Jong batted away that question. He said, no. He said, I feel good right now. He said, we train very well. I don't have any knocks or injuries, so that's the most important thing. He said, I also played a lot last season. He said, I'm happy with it like this. I'm fine. And he was also asked indeed about the fact that tomorrow Neymar will not be there for PSG. He is not going to be playing. He is still out with that injury problem. De Jong said, for me, Neymar is one of the best players in the world. So when he's not available to play, it does make it maybe a bit easier for us. He said, but of course, this is still a very tough game. Then it was over indeed to Ronald Koeman, the man tomorrow who's going to have to lead this Barcelona team into the second leg. And he was asked there ahead of this match, is the feeling different from what you had in the first leg? The way you lost to PSG, the feeling at that time, is it different now? Koeman said, hopefully, it's very different. He said, we face the second leg here with what we know is a big deficit to overcome. But he said, there's always hope. He said, it depends on how we start the game. And that was something I feel right throughout this press conference. Koeman said a number of times, the start is so important. He said the energy that we come out with, how much pressure we put on our opponents. And he said, of course, it then depends as well on our efficiency. He said we have to be very effective in front of goal. Take our chances. Koeman was then asked how indeed has the team changed since that first leg in terms of the mentality and also in terms out on the field. He said, well, the cup game has given us a lot of confidence there against Sevilla, the fact there that we came back. He said, but in that game, it was only a 2-0 margin. He said, and we did play the second leg at home. He said, PSG is a very strong team. He said, the only hope that we have is that we play the perfect game. He said, we must be perfect. And he said, we're going to try. Nothing is impossible. One certain blow, though, that has come in terms of the Barcelona players who are available to play tomorrow. There is going to be no Gerard Piqué as we expected there through injury, but also we are not going to be seeing Ronald Araujo, who did not make the cut for this game. He wasn't quite ready to be in the squad. Koeman said there, it's true, this season we've had a lot of problems with injuries. He said, I can't really remember having a full squad, everybody available for one particular game, but he said we've also demonstrated that we don't depend on one or two of our players. He said this team has proven they can face challenges, they can overcome them, and the players who play tomorrow, they will do that. And speaking indeed of the injury there to Araujo, he did actually complete part of the training session today with the group. He was seen there with the rest of the team, but obviously, like I say, he's not quite ready. Koeman said, we have spoken to Araujo today. He said, I think maybe looking at the data, analysing what happened, I think we probably did rush Araujo back the last time. Of course, he was subbed off, injured again against Sevilla. He said, we don't want to do that again. We don't want to make the same mistake. He said, what he has to do now is train a bit more with the team. If everything goes well, maybe he could be involved in our next game after PSG, which is going to come on Monday. Koeman himself was also asked about the arrival of Joan Laporta, the fact there that he visited the team yesterday, that he spoke to the team, and in particular, does his relationship with Messi from the past mean that it's more likely that Messi will stay at Barcelona? Koeman said Laporta won the election by a large margin. He said it's great for the club to have a president like him. He said maybe it's more likely. He said I don't really know yet. He said it's true that Joan has a history with Leo. He said I don't know if that changes things for him. Only Messi can decide his future, but we all hope that he stays right here. Koeman was then asked again about Laporta, about whether he knew him personally. Had he met Laporta in the past? Does he know him from before? Koeman said, yeah. He said, I do know him. He said, we've met each other quite a few times in the past. And he said, I also know Frank Rijkaard very, very well, who was, of course, Laporta's first coach. He said, I know that he gives a lot of confidence there to his players. He said, yesterday we saw him really encouraging the team. He said, he's very involved in his role to help. He said, the mood right now, it is good. Koeman was then asked by the journalist that tomorrow, heading into this game, of course you want to make the comeback, but would you settle for just a victory? Are you happy there to sort of say, you know what, as long as we win that second leg, that'll be okay for us? But Koeman said, no. He said, I do not settle for anything. He said, we got to go out, we got to play our game, we got to create opportunities to score. He said, I think if we play the game, and at the end of it we say, we gave our all, and then we'll see what the result's going to be. He said, what I don't want to happen is to be at the end of the game tomorrow knowing that we didn't give it everything. He said, that would be the worst thing. We have to try. Koeman was then asked indeed about the system that we could see against PSG tomorrow, even despite our defensive problems. Will we still see that three at the back setup that we've seen in recent games? Koeman wasn't giving much away. He said, right now, I do have a starting 11 in mind. He said, we've analysed the first leg, what went wrong. He said, with the players we've sat down, and tomorrow we'll have our final talk with them. He said, but with these players, we can play any system. And I think Koeman there, keeping everything nice and secret until the game on Wednesday, giving nothing away. Finally though, Koeman was asked in terms of the comeback, in terms of everything that needs to happen to make that kind of result possible, will it all in the end come down, as we've seen it so many times before, to Lionel Messi? Does he have the ability here to decide this game? And Koeman said, of course, if we're thinking about coming back, we need each and every player to be at their best. And he said, look, if Leo can play one of his games, you know, what he does, what he's capable of, he said anything is possible. He can decide any game. He said, what I don't want to do is put too much pressure on Messi, solely on him. He said every player has to be at their best. He said, of course, we'll also need probably a bit of luck along the way, as you always do. He said it all depends on how we approach the beginning of the game. And again, you hear it there. Koeman is absolutely insistent here, and rightly so, that we are on PSG from that word go. Put them under pressure, go for them, force them into errors. That is the way that we can get a foothold and get started on the comeback trail. Please let me know your thoughts ahead of this massive second leg. The feeling is good. We know that it's an uphill task. We know that it will take a major effort to overturn this, but this is football. This is Barcelona. We have to believe. And later on today, over on TALKFCB, I'm going to be talking there about the possibility of a comeback, about this game in its entirety. And I am very, very excited to share all of these emotions, to share the energy with you guys ahead of this clash. And I will see you soon for all of that good stuff. Thank you indeed for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.